Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Shelja classes. Today we are going to study History, Class 6, Chapter number 1 What, Where, How, and When. We are going to start the concept series in which we will cover the different NCERT of Class 6, 7, 8, especially of the history subject. So let's start. The chapter name is What, Where, How, and When. Chapter number 1. Okay. First, see, these books are made from the children, so they are written in from the children's perspectives. Okay. So here's written Rashida's question. Rashida sat reading the newspaper. Suddenly, her eyes fell on a small headline 100 years ago. How, she wondered, could anyone know what had happened so many years ago? The answer to this question is sources. Okay? The answer to this question is sources. How? What are its reasons? We'll discuss in this chapter. Finding out what happened yesterday, you could listen to the radio, watch television, read a newspaper, etc. Last year, ask somebody who remembers. But what about long ago? Let's us see how it can be done. Where can we know about the past? There are several things we can find out. What people ate, the kinds of clothes they wear, the houses in which they lived. We can find out about the lives of the hunters, herders, farmers, rulers, merchants, priest, craft person, artists, and musicians and scientists. See, what is it giving? That we can find out many things, several things, okay? But we need some kind of sources, some information, so that we can find out what people ate, kinds of clothes they wore, houses in which they live, they were hunters, farmers, about their lives, etc., etc. Now we can also find about the games children played, because the stories they heard, the plays they saw, the songs they sang. Where did people live? Find the river Narmada on the map, page number 2. People have lived along the banks of this river. This river means Narmada River for several thousand years. Some of the earliest people who lived in were skilled gatherers. See, what is the meaning of hunters, gatherers? Hunters, 1 minute. See, hunters, as you know, hunters mean the people who hunt animals, kill them and eat them. And gatherers who gathered food, as the name suggests, who gathered food. Okay. So, hunters, those who hunt and kill animals and eat them, and gatherers who gather the food. Okay. That is people who gather their food, as it is written here. People who gather their food. They knew about the vast wealth of plants in the surrounding forest and collected the roots, fruits, and other forest produce for their food. They also hunted animals. Okay, that means hunters. Why they collected roots? Yeah, they collected roots. Roots, because some plants like potato are grown in the roots. Right? So now find the Suleiman and Kirtar hills to the northwest in the map. We have asked to find the Narmada river. So this is it goes, and now they have asked to find the Suleiman and Kirtar hills. So you have to find this in this region. Okay, find out. Okay. So the areas where women and men first began to grow crops such as wheat and barley about 8,000 years ago are located here. Means these Suleiman Kirta hills are the place where women and men first begin to grow crops such as wheat and barley about 8,000 years ago. Okay, people also started rearing animals like sheep, goat, and cattle and lived in the villages. Locate the Garo hills to the northeast and the Vindhyas in central India. So, Garo Hills, here it is go Garo Hills and Vindhyas, which is written here, Vindhyas. It is near the Narmada River, Vindhyas. These were the other areas where agriculture developed. The places where rice was first grown are to the north of the Vindhyas. Means not to the of the Vindhyas, rice were grown first. Okay. So, facing page. This is a map of South Asia, including present country. That map, there's having the map. Okay. Trace the river Indus and its tributaries. You have these all pink colors. You have to you understand that this is your homework. Okay. Now, tributaries are smaller rivers that flow into a larger river. As you know, if you don't know, just study about them. What are tributaries? Tributaries are the rivers that flow. There are smaller rivers that flow into a larger river. Tributaries. Okay. Now, about 4,700 years ago, some of the earliest cities flourished on the banks of these rivers, which rivers Indus and its tributaries. Okay. About 2,500 years ago, cities developed on the banks of Ganga and its tributaries. Tributaries are the smaller rivers. Okay, this one is a larger river. And along the sea coast, that means Goa region, like that, along the sea coast area. Now, look at the Ganga and tributary and call the sun. Ganga and tributary called the sun. Sun river you have to locate. In ancient times, the area along these rivers into the south of the Ganga were known as Magad. Highlight this. In ancient times, the area along these rivers was known as Magad. You have heard about the Magad kingdom. Magad and his last ruler Dhananand, who fight with Chandragupta Maurya, and Chandragupta Maurya's Acharya named Chanakya. Na? You have studied about these stories and you have seen in the TVs, etc. So this Magad region was the south of the Ganga. Now lying in the state of Bihar, Patliputra, Patna region. Okay, its rulers were very powerful and set up a large kingdom. Kingdoms were set up other part of the country as well. Throughout, people traveled from one part of the subcontinent to another. The hills and the high mountains, including the Himalayas, deserts, rivers, and seas, made journeys during that times. Throughout, people travel from one part of the subcontinent to another. The hills and the mountains, including the Himalayas, deserts, rivers, and seas, made their journeys. The people who came to India or any other part of the country, any other country or any other continent, at the time, the hills and the high mountains made the journeys difficult because there is no airplane, there is no railways, there's sea, but not that motorboat. They have the boat or ship by hand operated. Okay. So what is it here? Made the journeys dangerous at times, but never impossible. It is possible. Okay. So men and women moved in search of livelihood as also to escape from natural disasters like floods and droughts. Floods mean when due to heavy rain or any other reason like earthquake, rivers overflow and the water came to the cities or villages, and droughts where the lack of the water or scarcity of the waters. So what is it? Men and women move in such a livelihood, such a work to escape from the natural disaster. They have to move from one place to another, and they don't made the permanent houses. Okay, sometimes men march in armies conquering other lands. Sometimes men, the men refers to the kings. Okay, men refers to the kings. Sometimes men march in a large armies. They have written the men, which is written here, refers to the kings. Okay. Besides, merchants traveled with caravans or ships. Caravans, as you know, or ships carrying valuable goods from place to place, and religious teachers walked from village to village, town to town, stopping to offer instruction and advice on the way. But kings march in armies, live in big kingdom, rule on a big kingdom, live in a big mahal called in Hindi. Okay, and but merchants travel with caravans. Okay, ships carrying valuable goods, and religious travel walk from city to city, village to village, to give their invaluable information to others, to spread their information and teachings. Finally, some people perhaps travel driven by spirit of adventure, wanting to discover new exciting places. Like some people travel due to the adventure. So, what this sentence given that some people travel for the livelihood, for the work, to reach their and needs of the day, food. Okay, some people move to spread their valuable information, teaching, and but finally some people perhaps traveled due to the spirit of the adventure. They want to adventure, they want to discover new places, wanting to discover new and exciting places. All these led to the sharing of ideas between people. Why do people travel nowadays? Look at the map 1 given on page number 2 once more. Hills, mountains and sea from the natural frontiers of the subcontinent. While it was difficult to cross these frontiers, those who wanted could and did scale the mountains. What is the question? Why did people travel nowadays? That time people travel for their livelihood, as I told. Once more, hills, mountains and seas from the natural frontiers of the subcontinent. While it was difficult to cross these frontiers, those who wanted could and did scale the mountains and cross the seas. People from across the frontiers also came into the subcontinent and settled here. Means people are coming from different parts, desert, mountains, to live near the river and set up their livelihood and settle there. These movements of people enrich our culture and tradition, because the different people came. Like if the person came from Himalaya, they have their different language, different culture, different tradition, different religion. Okay, and some people came from other country. Some people came from other part of subcontinent like Pakistan. No, not Pakistan. From Islamabad, Karachi, from Burma, from Myanmar, from Nepal, from China. So they have different culture and traditions. People have shared new ways of carving stone, composing music. Different people came different things. Like some people came with their carving, different new ideas of carving stone. Some people came with composing music. Some people came with the idea of the paper and even cooking food over several hundreds of years. Now, name of the land. Two of the words we often use for our country are India and Bharat. The word India comes from Indus, called Sindhu in Sanskrit. That's why it is also called Sindhu Ghati. Okay, Sindhu Ghati. That means Indus Valley. The word India comes from the word Indus river. Find Iran and Greece in your atlas. The Iranians and the Greeks. Okay, Iranians, they came from Persia. Now they Iran and Greece. Greeks, who came to the northwest about 2500 years ago, were familiar with the Indus. call it the Hindos or the Indus, and the land to the east of the river was called the India. So those people who say that India word is given by the British, they are absolutely wrong. The word came from the river Indus, and the people land to the east of the river is called the India. The name Bharat was used for a group of people who live in the northwest and who are mentioned in the Rig Veda. How many types of Veda are there? 4 types of Veda: Rig Veda, Sam Veda, Yajur Veda, and Atharva Veda. So, and the earliest composition in Sanskrit dated to about 3500 years ago. Later it was used for the country. Okay, finding out about the past. There are several ways of finding out about the past. One is to search for and read books that were written long ago. Ramayana, Mahabharata. These are the books that we can read to find valuable informations. These are called the manuscripts because they were written by hand. Manuscripts. Word menu. Menu means hand, and scripts mean, as you know, script. I didn't think. Okay, this comes from manuscripts. This comes from the Latin word manu, means hand. Okay. So let's begin. These were usually written on palm leaf. On the specially prepared bark of a tree known as a birch, which grows in the Himalayas. You have seen it in the birch, but they are grows in Himalayas. A page from a palm leaf manuscript in any other language. What the language is written here? They have not mentioned, but this is a different language. Maybe a Sanskrit, or not Sanskrit, but other language. But they have it is written on the palm leaf, na? And you will ask, what is this hole? Okay, this hole, there are many types. There are 3 or 4 pages like this, and they have attached them with a thread-like structure that attach them and make a thin book. Right? Let's turn the page. Over the years, many manuscripts were eaten by insects. Yes, this problem occurs with the birch because they are organic substance that decomposed, were eaten, and manuscripts were eaten by the insects. Because many insects deteriorate its quality. Some were destroyed, but many had survived. What type of manuscripts have survived? Manuscript written on the stone has survived. These books deal with all the kinds of subjects: religious beliefs and practices, the life of the kings, medicine and science. Okay. Besides, there was epics, poem. What are epics? Mahabharata and Ramayana are epic. Poems and plays. Plays mean drama. Many of these were written in the Sanskrit. Others were written in Prakrit, language used in the by ordinary people, and Tamil. This Prakrit language is not used for Tamil, but they are mentioning that many of these were written in Sanskrit, Prakrit, and Tamil language. These 3 languages are main. Okay. Prakrit language, if you remember, the Prakrit, the Gautam Buddha spread their message in the Prakrit language. We will discuss in the later chapter on the religious beliefs and practices in this chapter. We can also study inscriptions. These are writings on relatively hard surfaces, stone or metals. So they can ask a question: what is the difference between manuscript and inscription? Inscription mainly written on the this hard surface like stone that survived that, and manuscripts were written in the organic substances which can destroyed by insects and many other things. Sometimes one problem occurs with the manuscripts can be like you have seen. If you will wet the page with the water, it will destroy if you simply touch it. है ना. But if it is weathering, the manuscripts will be destroyed, but the stone will not. Stone is the hard surface, है ना. So sometimes king got their orders and scripts so that people could see, read, and obey them. Why kings give their orders? So that the later generations remember them. Yes, this is a ruler. Like example, ruler Samudragupta have we have only manuscript and inscription to study him, and we have no other source. You can imagine that we will miss a ruler if there is no manuscript and inscription, that one manuscript. So people people inscribed it so that people could see and read and obey them. There are other kinds of inscription as well, as where men and women, including kings and queens, recorded what they did. For example, kings often kept records of victories in the battle. This is important. In the battle. So, there were many other things that were made and used in the past. Those who study these objects are called archaeologists. See, there are two types of sources. One is literally written thing, that this stone is a literary source, and archaeology, like we have found a home, civilization, na? So that is an archaeology. They study the remains of the buildings and sculpture. They also explore and excavate, dig under the surface of the earth. Excavate meaning to find tools, weapons, pots, pans, ornaments, and coins. Where objects may be made of stone, of other bones, baked clay, or metal. Objects that are made of hard, imperishable substances usually survive for a long time. Okay. An old inscription. This inscription about 2250 years ago, and found at Kandahar, present-day Afghanistan. Inscribed on the order of the ruler Ashoka. You read all this in chapter number 7. When we write anything, we use a script. Scripts consist of letters, signs. We read what is written or speak, use language. This inscription was inscribed in two different scripts, Greek and Aramaic. Greek. From here to here, this one, here, this is the Greek, and this is Aramaic, below and top. Now turn the page. Left, apart from an old city, this pot. See how it is detailed. It is looking like a pot. It is looking like a pot nowadays, na? But the difference is different. What is difference is nowadays pot is simply made from the clay, but these have designs. Such a bag, such a pot like these were used 4,000 years ago. 4,000 years ago, they have pot made from clay with such a beautiful designs. Can you imagine that? Right, an old silver coin these coins were used from 2,500 years ago, and what were in the coin different from the ones we use today? Mainly a shape. Today we use on circle coins, and these were the squares, rectangle. But see how detailed they are. These coins are how detailed they have inscriptions. Archaeologists also look for bones of animals and birds and fish to find out what people ate in the past. Plants remains survive far more rarely if seeds of grain and pieces would have been burned. They survive in a charred form. Do you think cloth found frequently by archaeologists? Historians, that is, scholars who study the past, often use the word source to refer to the information from the manuscripts, inscriptions, and archaeology. As I mentioned, source. How many types of sources? They were mentioned. One source are found learning about the past become an adventure as we reconstruct it bit by bit. If we find different sources, we can construct a one history. If you find some information about a ruler, different sources. You can build a one history and write in some things so that the people will read and knew about that ruler. One past or many. The NCERT book name is Our Past. One past or many. Did you notice the title of the book, Our Past? Why they have used S? We have used past in plural to draw attention to the fact that our past was different from different groups of people. For example, the lives of the group of people were different from those kings and queens. The lives of merchants were different from those kafirs and so on. Okay. So what they're trying to say that if a person, if there's a farmer, he can at the time he will understand the farming tricks and how to do farming by from his parents. That means his whole generation is a farmer from starting. And if a king, if we say the history of a king, so he will born in the king family and he was born as Kshatriya, then only he can become a ruler now. So kings have different their past, queens have different, merchants have different, everyone has their different pasts. Okay. Also, as is true even today, people follow different practices and customs in different parts of the country. But most of the people living in Andaman Islands get their own for fishing, hunting. The people living in Andaman, forest produce. By contrast, most people living in cities depend on others for supply of food. Like they go in malls and supermarkets to buy things. Differences such as these existed in the past as well. Besides, there is another kind of difference. We know a great deal about the kings and the battles they fought because they kept record of their victories. Generally, ordinary people such as hunters and fishing folk, gatherers, farmers, herders did not keep record of what they did. Why? Because they have not money. They are not interested to keep the records. What will they keep the records? I have killed a deer today. I have caught a big fish today. I have gathered this type of food. I have grown this type of what they will do that. So and they have not so much money to spend in these type of things. They live their livelihood, do their job, and just live. But rulers want to remember the other generations. That's why they keep the record of the their victories and other things. While archaeology helps to find out how their life, that remains unknown. We know only 10-20% of their farmers and herders and many other normal peoples, but many things remains unknown. What do dates mean? If somebody asks you the date, you will probably mention the day, month and year. 2000 and something. These years are counted from the date generally assigned to the birth of the Jesus Christ. You have heard after the birth of the Jesus Christ, no? The founder of the Christianity. So 2000 founder of the Christianity. So 2000 mean if 2000 year given to her means 2000 years after the birth of the Christ. If it is going to 124, that means 224 years after the birth of the Christ. All the days before the birth of the Christ are counted backwards and usually have letters BC before Christ. Okay. You have also seen BCE. That not mean before Christ era. That means before Common Era. Added on. In this book, we will refer to the dates going back from the present using 2000 as a starting point. That means they have given 2000 BC. That means 2000 before birth of the Christ. Okay, as the starting point. Letters with date BC stand for the before Christ. Okay, you will sometimes find AD for dates in two Latin words. Anno Domini meaning the year of the Lord. That is Christ. If the Christ is born in AD 2012, so that means this year the Christ is born, so they will written Anno Domini 2012. So 2000 can also be written as 2008 Anno Domini 2012. In the year of the Lord. Okay, sometimes CE is used instead of AD and BCE instead of BC. C. The letter C stands for the Common Era and BC for the Before Common Era. We use this term because the Christian era is now used in most of the countries of the world. In India, we began using from the 200 years ago, and sometimes the letter BP means before present are used. But these you will see in very less things. Okay, these are the keywords you have to write in your notebook. These are keywords. Matching you have to do yourself. Question answers you have to find because you are in class 6 now. You have to find it, and if you cannot, you will again read the book and you can easily find the questions and their meanings. Now, some important names: the beginning of the agriculture 8,000 years ago. You have to also add this notebook. The first city on the Indus 470 years a year. The city in the Ganga Valley, big Kinamaga in 2,500 years ago. The present about 2,000 AD CE. Okay, so this is the chapter number 6. Concept classes, history chapter 1. We have completed what, where, how, and when. In next classes, we will see other chapters. That's all for today. Help me next time. Keep reading and keep writing.